Okay, so I broke you off with a little preview to the remix here. This is Longest Journey Part 2. Longest Journey 1, Part 2. I did a preview to it. I got a great response, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going with it as a series. I do usually hit you with a little bit of history here and there, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. That way, instead of saying you're watching video games, you can say, hey, I was busy learning. The bottom line is there was a missing part in the cutscene when I uploaded it where the Guardian actually leaves his post. It's set up a lot like a church, but very old school if you've ever been to Norway. This is a Norwegian game. They like to stack stones. It has meaning to them. It means I was here, which is very similar to the passage in the Bible where Joshua shows his son that they did the same thing in order to store stories. It's set up Wiccan style as well, which was interesting because it has the positive and the negative energy coming through, and that's what forms the cross. Either way, the Guardian steps down, and the balance is upset, and that's what opens up this rift in space-time, obviously, as she is standing in the middle of, like, chaos central, which she apparently thinks is really gorgeous. Only an art student, right? So, to me it looks a little bit like the first circle of hell, which is for the enlightened, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to argue because that looks a lot like a gigantic rolling blob of chaos. So, we'll get our butts in gear here.
What's happening?
That'd be an earthquake. Very sweet. Got a desiccated maple tree.
I guess if I don't do something to save that egg, I'll suffer 7 years of bad karma or something. It looks really too big, but it can't be. It's much too big, and I don't much care for reptiles.
Gotta do some press-ups there, sweetheart. So we got a dragon egg.
Sound come from the egg? Boy, that's some chick. I don't think I can get a good grip on it. It's too big and slippery, and I might drop it by accident.
That's a valid reason. Chapter 1, if you recall, is called A Lion in the Streets, so there does seem to be a little bit of British mythology mixed in here. Canada is a British province, little known fact.
An artist, not a botanist. I'm pretty certain this tree is dead. Looks to it.
Hence the QEW, the fact that the queen was on the back of the penny and I think the quarter for a while until they changed it to a reindeer, which is interesting.
Snap right off in a second.
It's a dowsing rod. The reason that's interesting is because reindeer traditionally represent America. Spirit in the trees again.
What?
Why do you take such pleasure in torturing us?
Torturing you? Who are you?
We are the voice of all trees, the spirit of wood.
You're a talking tree?
No, a tree does not talk, at least not in your tongue. The tongue of trees is the language of wood, and leaf.
Who are you then?
Like we say, we are the voice of all trees. Whenever an injustice is done, we must speak for the tree if we are present.
It's the branch. I shouldn't have broken the branch off.
Oh, what does it matter anyway? There is nothing more to be done for us. We are simply here to find comfort in the final passing word.
We? I only see one of you.
We are one with our host, as we are all one spirit, one region.
Yeah. Thanks for clearing that up.
You do not expect it to understand. You are here.
I don't, because, like, you're not coniferous. So how do you guys speak to the coniferous trees? What about petrified trees? Do they have a soul too?
What happened to the tree?
As the battle raged,
Battle?
Poor Canada.
between the mother and Black Chaos, she was only protecting her child, but it would not back down, and the force of their battle shook the mountain. The brook that fed us was led astray, and without water, we began to wither and die.
It wasn't the Hudson, was it?
What's the deal with the egg?
It's what they overforced the child. Whenever the mother was absent, we were entrusted with the safety of the child. But now, withered and without strength, we can do nothing to help. We have failed the mother, and we despair. Our ship knows no bound.
Who are you again?
We are the wood spirit. We come to all trees in the hour of great need to provide comfort and aid in a passive work, and to give a voice to those who suffer. Our time is running out as we speak. The passing tour is about to begin. Leave us now.
What about the egg?
It is too late. Without sustenance, we do not have the strength to bring it safely home. Then, and the earth will know our shame for all time to come.
Oh, you're ashamed for all time. You must have really laid one down there. Interestingly enough, in mythology, the egg generally represents a story because we eat eggs unhatched. So, given that most mythologies have the weave of life or the scheme of life, in which there's many crossovers and knots, interesting math theory, knot theory thing going on there, which I won't bore you with, but if you want to look it up, you can. Since there is that skein, which is then unwoven, that is why an egg represents a story, or at least a potential story. Sometimes they're called babies. It's a little bit much for me. That's from the Druidic, when the Druids used to kill whole families, and they said it was to keep the veil closed. So that's why he's referring to the egg as the child.
Isn't there anything I can do to help?
We do not expect a human to come to our aid.
Lose the attitude, okay? Just tell me if there's anything I can do.
It is futile. We need water, but there is none. Not after the brook changed course.
I'll find a way. Don't panic.
We do not panic. Unlike you, we accept our destiny. If, however, against all odds, you do succeed, we will carry the child safely back into its nest. Do not make a foolish attempt on your own. It would spell certain misery.
Wow. So all the confidence there. Assuming you go full-on semiotics, which they do teach you to do in college, and they track the currency. Like I said, this is a Norwegian game. They don't have maple trees there. They have birch trees and they have pine trees. Very, very little on the maple, if at all. I think oak is the only one that was carried over, although I'd have to check. But I've been through Norway, and I've actually been through half of the country, and there is not a single maple tree there. So that's interesting. So assuming they did trace the currency and they're telling a Canadian fairy tale here, I have to read in the Skin of a Lion from Canada to see whether or not that's true. Then they're actually talking about one of the fairy tales that changed course, either that or the Bible. That's usually what the book refers to. It's either going to refer to the mythology of present day, or it's going to refer to the Bible, which is also known as the book, which is a history of all of the mythologies previously, at least in the Western world.
It's a nest. You had it with large scales. Very large scales. For some strange reason, I have a feeling I should get the hell out of here before the tenants return.
No, honey,
This
you
is
should monkey
interesting.
around more.
I've never seen a scale this size before.
Students.
I'll keep it as a souvenir.
It wasn't a horrible choice for an art student, because they do tend, we have a crossover between artists and madmen and whatnot. Those tend to be our seers in modern mythology. So let's see what we got for inventory. We got a stick. Feel good about this. Do this. This has got to be like... No, right clicking did not work.
I think I just made a funnel. Cool. I'm so proud of myself.
I am also proud of you, honey. Can we do something with this in the stream? I'm like spam clicking here to find the right spot for this. Click on the stream. It's gonna make you suffer through. Alright, that seems to have worked.
According to the, spirit, there was some kind of battle that split the rock and changed the course of the stream. It's a nest, padded with large scales. There. Hello? Hello?
Leave us be.
Are you okay?
We find our strength returned, and so we have no time for idle conversation. We must drink and rejoice.
Only prophecy
Aren't
of dying.
we forgetting something?
Hush, listen. The song from ancient wood. Is it not sweet?
Sweet. Definitely. Yeah. The baby's probably ready to boogie down as well.
The baby of the air. Thank dear. We almost forgot.
Elves. That's what you get when you put your memories in the in-between. No creativity whatsoever. You go to sleep at the drop of a hat. Yo, I thought he was gonna drop it. Oh, it can only be good. It's a T-Rex! Don't move! I can't see you.
What? What was that? Uh-oh.
Make one funnel. Dragon shows up.
It is you. You have come. Know me? April. Daughter. I have been waiting for you. Waiting? Why? Because it begins here, with you, as it always has. What do you mean?
Waiting for
The
April.
breach
I
and
just got
mending,
that.
the pain and the joy, the end of the old and the dawn of the new. A different world. I am the mother of what is, but you are the mother of the future that may yet be. How will I know? How will I know what to do? I will guide you, and I will protect you as much as I
Figure there'd
can.
be dragons.
But in the end, you are on your own. I'm afraid. You always were, my child, my daughter.
Mythical beings, man. They don't get that we're individuals.
It's probably not a good thing.
Dude. Future. The arc of something.
What a nightmare.
I know, right?
I'm completely exhausted.
Talk about a homework
I must have
assignment.
been tossing and turning.
Thought my finals were rough.
Here too. No wonder I keep having these weird dreams. I've basically been simmering in my own sweat every night this past week. Doesn't look like it's gonna cool down anytime soon either. It's another sunny day in Newport.
Okay, so longest journey. I'm Anjindra. Drop me a like, do me a favor, and
Wow,
subscribe.
It's a good thing the studio's got proper air conditioning. I promised myself I was gonna spend most of the day working, and I don't intend to break that promise. Not this time.
I'll keep this running as a series, and you know, give me a thumbs up. I also run a blog, badfantasyarcs.blogspot.com. I'll go ahead and read In the Skin of a Lion and see if I'm right about there being a fairy tale crossover between Canada, England, and Norway here. So check it out when it's up. It'll take me a couple days. And thank you for watching. As always, much love.